Hello everyone, I'm Dr. Tuem and today I'm going to talk with Rudabe, known as Rudy. In Persian community, she's well known, especially because of her appearance in the TV series named Befamid Sham in Manoto TV. She has so many talents, she is such a funny person, that's why I'm very interested to talk with her. Now I'm waiting for her to join the chat so that we can start our interesting conversation together. I say hi to everyone. Thanks for joining us. So by any minute, Rudy will join us. She has so many talents. She's bassist. She's drummer. She has so many talents. There are countless. So I rather to talk with her one by one about them. That's why it would be very interesting to talk with her. So, hi everyone, welcome. Yes. Hey Sylvia, welcome. So I'm still waiting for Rudy to join so that we can start our interesting conversation together. Sorry that I can't accept other requests because we managed this time to talk with Rudy. Let's hope she doesn't have difficulty to join the chat. Здравствуйте. So maybe Rudy has difficulty to join the chat. I'll wait for 2 more minutes. If that's the case, then I will restart the live from the beginning. But I hope that won't be the case. Hi everyone, welcome. Rudy will join us very soon. Yes, there she is. Let me send the invitation. Hi, Rudy.
Hello, hi.
So finally, the rotation is not correct. We checked
It's
before,
not?
but
Oh, I should
no,
check.
no.
I should.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
I should turn it on. Let me turn it. Okay. Okay. I'm just gonna do it this way. Okay. So we're gonna do it this way.
No, this is perfect. So how's
Good.
everything with you? It's very nice to
Good.
finally
Good.
talk with you.
Thank you very much. How are you?
Thank you very much. I'm good. So how's everything in
Perfect.
LA now?
In what term? In terms of weather, pandemic, politics, you name it. It's crazy here.
I see. Last one I talked with in LA was Sheila Busu, and it was, I think, in December. But since
Mhm.
December, many things happened in the US, as far as I know. So
Yeah.
things been crazy, right?
Yeah, it's a crazy time, actually, I think globally. Wherever you look at, you see many strange things are happening. But I think the best way to approach it is just to take it one day at a time and just try to remain positive. Although sometimes it gets hard, but you only have two options, either to laugh about it or to cry about it. I choose to laugh. Yeah.
Good idea. And since when did you move to the US? I thought you were in Canada.
Yes, I was. Okay, so I lived in Canada. Okay, I migrated there in 2000. In 2016, I decided to just do some stuff because I kind of got bored. I had a very good job that benefit and so on and so forth. Very good community of friends, but I felt like it's a dead end. I just got bored. So I got up and started traveling for a year from 2016 to 2017. Went so many different places, so much fun. But 2017, I came here to visit friends and family, and one thing led to another, and I ended up staying here in LA, California. And your answer, that was a long answer actually, is 2017.
I
Yeah.
see. And as I understood, you got bored very fast. That's the general thing for you. You get bored very fast. Is that
Yes,
right?
yes, yes, yes. I can't. Yeah, so I even migrate to get rid of boredom. Can you imagine that? It's not like people watch a film to get out of boredom. I'm like, no, I have to migrate to a different continent. Yeah, I'm just gonna go there, no
What's the
problem.
place after US? Because everyone wants to move to US. So what will happen after that?
I don't know, perhaps Mars.
Yeah, I was
Oh,
thinking about
yeah,
that.
the
That's the only
space
place to go.
station. Yes, okay. I'm totally up for that. We just
So
don't have
Rudy, I
oxygen
have
there,
series
so
of questions ready for you. But would you
sure, let's
please
go.
briefly tell us about yourself to the viewers?
Yeah, I tell the viewers about myself. Again, I migrated. I lived in Iran uh, for many years. Then I migrated to Canada. Then I migrated here. I'm gonna talk about my artsy part of my life, I suppose, because there's so many different parts.
Yeah.
But I'm just gonna talk about arts part. Okay, so I'm an ex-ballerina. I play three different instruments: piano, drums, and bass. I've been painting since I was 17. I do oil color mostly. I am a 5 different format instructor in LA Fitness. I do kickboxing, I do body pump, I do body combats and cycling and aquafit. I'm very active, physically active. I'm very energetic, so it's better for me to release the energy somewhere, you know. Yeah, kickbox, good. And then I did custom designing. I still do, and I recently tapped into acting. Yeah, and now I wouldn't call myself an actress. You know, when people say that, you're like, oh, okay, thanks. It's one of those. No, I'm not one of those. I'm just very humble. And I got into acting, and I'm actually really, really liking it. It's a lot of fun.
Actually, we will get to all of that. And I was wondering how you are going to somehow briefly explain about yourself, because when we talk about Rudy, it's hard to just pick one part and say, okay,
Thank
Rudy
you.
is, for example, a dentist, Rudy is a pilot. It's impossible.
Mm. Yeah, kind of, I know. It's as you said, it's the boredom thing. Like, I just don't want to be bored, and I just tap into so many different things. Like, for
Yeah,
example, if you
I
like
some
art, you need to cover so many arts, not one.
exactly. I somehow relate to that because in science I do the same, in art I do the same. So I totally get you.
Yeah, it's
And by
good
the
to
way,
actually, everybody says you need to be perfect in one. Oh, I disagree. I like to know a little bit of everything.
it's actually true that if you want to be top, you should do that. But are you
Yeah.
happy if you do that? That's the question.
Yeah, I'm very content. Yeah. One day I custom design, one day I paint, one day I'm basing all day, and one day I'm drumming.
Exactly. So that's for not for everybody. That someone prefers that she or he tries everything rather than just be top in one field.
That's true. Well, definitely, each person has a different opinion and perspective. I definitely respect that, of course, to each their own. But that's me being Gemini, Hordad.
And
I
as
think
far
it
as I
has something to do with that.
you were born in Khordad?
Yeah.
Yeah, me too. Then maybe that's the reason.
Oh, when?
Yeah, because I don't believe in such
I'm
things, but
22nd.
I don't know.
I don't too, but
I was born in 27th of Khordad.
oh, I'm 22nd.
So very close.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
also, I know that we are Bache Mahal, as we call it in Persia. That
Yeah, yeah.
you were born in Mirdamad Square, right? I mean,
Yes.
Mehdi Mohseni or Mother, as they call.
Yes, yes. Yes, yes. Many
So
more
where
singing.
exactly you were in Kajabi or I don't know, Bazilipur?
Oh, actually, it's so funny. I exactly know my address because when I was a little girl, you know how your parents constantly repeat your address in case if you go missing? It
Yeah,
was like
exactly.
a thing in my head. I was like, oh my God. So it's خیابون بهروز نقش پوشته هشتم پلاکش بمانن.
I see.
Well, the
My
apartment is
grandmother
sold, so
actually is
there's no
there.
point for people to get weird. It's sold, but that's
Yeah,
what
you're a neighbor
that's
of
what it
my
is.
grandmother.
Oh,
I
really?
yeah, I used to live in Waziripur, and now my parents moved to Zafar. So, but we
Oh,
are
yeah,
always
it's just
around
right
Mirdaman.
there.
We are
Yeah, yeah.
loyal to Mirdaman.
In good old days. How many years ago did you leave Iran?
I used to live there 12 years ago, but time to time I visited there before Corona happens.
Oh, yeah, yeah, I know. This
Yeah,
pandemic
Corona
nonsense
totally
stuff.
ruined everything. But
No
you
kidding.
yeah, but you haven't been in Iran, I think, for many years, right?
I actually, when I started traveling, because I was bored, and I traveled for a year, I actually paid a very, very brief visit to Iran for like 8 days. And so I can say I was in Iran for 8 days in 2016. It's
I
very
see.
short. People are like, okay, what's 8 days? It takes you 2 days to get there. I'm like, yeah, okay, it's okay, no worries.
And you
I
went
was
there
coming
from
from,
Canada, so it means that for 2 days you
no,
were just.
yeah, but the thing is, I went to Denmark, then I went to Germany, then
Oh, okay.
I
So it
was
was a
very
trip.
near. Yeah, I was
It was a
hopping.
tour like a rock star. So you went like a tour.
Yeah. I love
So,
traveling.
yeah. So, Rudy, the first time I saw you was in Manitou TV in Befamid Sham
Yeah.
TV show. So, I also have some questions related to that, if you don't mind. So, how was your experience being in that show?
It was extraordinary. I did not expect the show to be so big. I didn't know, with all due respect to all those people, I had no idea what's Manitou. I didn't even know what it is. And I'm just going to make it very brief. One of my friend was a participant, contestant in the show, and they said to him that we need a new scene. So he asked me if he can have like some filming, because there are menu reading. So he asked me if I can go to your apartment and do some filming. I said, "Are you sure? No problem." So he went. I was even at work, but one of the directors, there were two, one of the directors called me, and I was at work, and then she said, "I'm who and who." I said, "Like, I do greatly apologize. I don't know who this person is." She goes, "Oh, okay, so we're filming in your apartment right now." I said, "Okay, great." She said, "We love the apartment. Can you please attend and participate in this show?" I said, "Okay, I need to go and see what is it about. I have no idea what it is." So anyways, long story short, I said yes. I did attend. I loved the other three girls. We are still in touch via Insta. Unfortunately, not as often as we used to, because back then we were all four of us in Toronto. Right now, we are all like in different part of the globe. I did love the three girls, and I did love the crew. Very, very professional, very prepared, very upbeat, very nice. No dull moment. Nobody was ever angry or yelling and screaming or whatever. They were very, very on time and punctual. And I never knew that at the time, apparently it had 20 million viewers. So I had no idea. And then actually it exploded like a bomb. Like this very Insta of mine, this very one, I had a private Insta, but this is literally, I actually opened up this very account after Beckham Trump because of people's requests. That was
I
it.
see. And Sarah is asking whether this is my job to have live shows. No, this is not my job. This is my hobby. I'm a university professor. I teach mathematics. But as hobbies, I do, for example, interviews. I, for example, play guitar and so on. And so, Rudy, we had a guy named Togrol. It was a voiceover on the show, a
Yeah,
funny
he was
guy.
working.
So
Yeah.
he gave so many interesting comments about you during the show. Do you
Yeah.
remember something funny?
Um, no, no, but I remember, not necessarily, but I found him very funny. I don't know, for some reason, some people found him like insulting. I never found him insulting. Actually, whatever he said, he always made me actually laugh because he's basically mocking me. but I like to be mocked about if I'm doing crazy, because I remember when I was cooking, I was talking to the pot and to my food, and then he was like, okay, so, okay, great. We have a participant here who talks to her, to the food. We never had this before. And I constantly said, متشکرم. And then he came after me and saying that. I was like, oh my God, that's hilarious. I didn't even realize I keep saying it until he did it. I was like, oh my God, ooh, oh. So I actually really liked his, whatever he was like mocking me about, actually.
Some of them were very funny, but was there any comment that you felt bad about it or you felt insulted?
About Tog'rol?
About overall, yes.
No, no, none, zero. But I think they were all very respectful, and I think it made me laugh. So I was like, oh my God. I'm sure
I
he
think he
made the others
realized
laugh too.
somehow that you can take it, so he actually turned the level so up. But I think he knew that he can count on you to take them all. So as we say in Iran, you are very bajambe. So
Oh yeah, well,
he knew
oh
that.
yeah, yeah, but yeah, actually that's important because I actually noticed some people take it very personal. Dude, it's supposed to be entertaining show, and it's supposed to be funny. Nothing is personal. Just let go and laugh, whatever, man.
Exactly. For example, I like the one that comment he made that you said that you want to go to Iran with that money with your
Yeah.
actually the other participant because she wanted to visit her mother, and he said that if you like yourself, you better not to go there.
Yeah, I remember that. I remember that very well. He's like, no, I don't think so. Or when I said, oh my God, my dream job was to be a pilot, he said, yeah, it's too late, dude. I was like, oh.
By the way, what happened to that dream?
That's a very good question. I still do have it. I don't want to be a commercial plane pilot. Thank you very much. Like 747. Grrr. No thanks. But okay, 747 doesn't make this noise. Grrr. This was a very ill illustration. Sorry about that. But I definitely want to get my PPL, private pilot license. And actually, the moment I get an opportunity, I will. I never got the opportunity in Canada due to so many different reasons, but I'm still working on it. And the moment I get the opportunity, I'll definitely pursue it. It's just that I'm a new immigrant here again, once again. Oh, voila, I'm constantly a new immigrant everywhere I go. So I'm like trying to figure out where is north and where is south. Yeah, you know, you're an immigrant, you understand what I mean. You're like, okay, where is my dad's the chap? Where's my dad's? Where am I? Okay, what's going on? And so I haven't. I like to get settled, and then past 1 year we have pandemic. But I will definitely pursue. Okay, I'll show it to all of the people that I did it.
Yeah,
I
that
would
would
be
be
like
so cool.
9 years old with a walker. I'm going, oh my God, honey, I'm gonna go and fly a plane. Let's go. You're like, okay, maybe you should quit. And I'm like, no, yeah.
And of course, as soon as you participated in that show, there were lots of comments, especially from Persian community. So were there any crazy ones that you remember even now? Because I know you live in the moment, you don't care that much about comments, you don't memorize them. But do you remember something possibly?
Mm, mm. I don't specifically remember, but I remember that I had like serious fans and lovers and extremely radical and fanatic haters. And I don't know why do they hate me because, in my opinion, there is a show. I don't like it. I'll go turn it off and I just get on with my life. I wouldn't sit there and start hating and become weird and do malicious things
Yeah.
or whatever. As it's to me, it's like one of the most useless, empty thing one can do. And how much of time are you supposed to have to waste it like this, dude? Go get a life, right? In my opinion. But I had haters, like I could say easily first 6 months, I had lovers and I had haters. And I actually did not even once replied to any of them. I found them, actually I didn't, my friends told me. There is a Manoto website. I found those comments there. Then Manoto released the episode on their YouTube, and then there were comments there. And I was like, wow, why are they saying these things? Like, okay, whatever, you don't like me, thank you very much. But get on with your life and don't look at me, turn around and walk away. It wasn't like that. Anyways, I didn't care. So there was a battle between my lovers and haters, which I am still, I can't fathom how could, I don't know. Like overnight, everybody thought they know me. And I was like, okay, this is very strange. Anyways, they fought. I actually read them all, and it was very, very funny because the lovers were getting very aggressive towards the haters, and I'm just reading, and I'm not responding to no one, absolutely nobody. Then it quieted down after 6 months, and right now it's many years past, and right now I'm very active on my Insta and my public Insta, and ever since, knock on wood, hold on. There is no hate or whatever or any weird comments after that ever. No.
Actually, that seems to be true because during this live, everyone were wonderful. They were sending love to you. And also worldwide, I received many hi from everywhere. Hola, hi, здравствуйте. So everyone were sending love to you because it shows that the lovers stay.
How long have you been doing this? Sorry to cut you off. I apologize.
The interviews, actually, I started in 2020 during COVID. And I never thought I would start such a thing. Because I started with some of my friends that I know that they are in entertainment industry, like musicians in Italy, or for example, I even started talking with Teran. Teran is so cool, and he accepted even the time that I didn't have that much followers. And yeah, it just started during summer 2020.
Okay, that's good to know.
But
so
you know,
you're used to reading these things. I'm like looking, I'm trying to figure out because I've never done this.
Yeah, it takes time. It took time for me to get used to them.
Yeah, no worries.
Like other platforms, it's not also easy to catch them, so you should catch them very fast. But don't worry about them. I try to also send you the questions that they ask.
Sure, no problem.
Yeah,
so you're a musician too, along with being a scientist?
I don't consider myself a musician, but for example, for electric guitar, I've been playing for 20 years. For bass, I just started during COVID as well. And one of my guests actually suggested me to play, and I started, and I'm loving it. So also, you can also talk about how did you decide to play bass, by the way?
One thing about Canada, the only thing about Toronto, Ontario, Canada, I did not like, the only thing was the weather. Okay, congratulations, no kidding. When the weather gets minus 30, it's not fun. So you have no choice than constantly be stuck at home, right? So that gave me an opportunity and reason to just tap into different things because I'm bored. Like, okay, so how much of sitting home and like watching TV and whatever you want to do, or partying and drinking, whatever, like it gets to the point that you're like, oh my God, I can't do this anymore. So I definitely needed to channel out my artsy part of my brain. And so I started, I literally had no idea how to do drums. I went and I bought a full set of acoustic drums right there. And my apartment was so small, it literally took my entire apartment. Then I started dingity-dishining. Obviously, I don't know how to do it. Then I watched YouTube, blah, blah. I taught myself how to play the drums. Now, I'm not a drummer. I don't have any or whatever, but I can definitely keep the beat and jam with people. Anyway, so then that was 1 year. A year after, I was like, okay, now I'm bored. Now I have a drum set. Now I know how to jam. Now I can keep the beat. I can do whatever. So what do I do now? Then I was like, oh my God. When you're jamming, you're always supposed to remain in tune with your bassist. I'm sure you know that. So drum and bass are always tight. So I was like, okay, so then it should be easier. Also, it has less string than a guitar. This guitar has 6. This one has 4. So it's going to be easier, I suppose. So I wanted to like definitely play something that's tight with drums and it doesn't sound very hard and whatever. So I started playing bass, and again, I'm not a bassist, but I do play bass. And I was like, wow, I love it. I love bass tunes, and I love the very masculine, like testosterone voice and whatever sound. I mean, it is so good. So then I was like, oh my God, it's great. And then I remember on the bass, I had to rent it from a music store to see if I can do it at all or not before buying it. And then when I went to rent it, the guy gave me a junior size bass because he said, you're so small, if you put an actual bass on you, you're just gonna fall on the floor and you're never gonna be able to actually reach the neck, right?
It's
It
very
was
tall,
like
yeah.
the neck, yeah, the neck is too long. He said, you're not going to reach it. So I'm going to get you a junior one. It was a junior Fender red bass. And I would practice on that. I was like, no, now I need a real one. Thank you very much.
But have you ever been in a professional band before?
I have. I
So,
wasn't a band member, but my there was a band in Toronto called Mehraei. And all of the members and I used to jam and very, very close friends. They had a very serious concert, somewhere very, very important in Canada in terms of art. And they were like doing a fusion with so many different artists. So the band was there, but there were different artists coming in and going, coming in and going. It was like rap and it was so many different bands. So they were getting ready for the 18 songs, and I knew it because they're my buddies. We jam all the time. Then one day, one of the members came to me and said to me, for some reason, their bassist can't be with them. And now they're extremely tight, and the situation is out of control. In 1 month, they're going on stage, and they don't have a bassist. All right, I'm not a bassist. I was like, okay, what are you looking at me for? He said, because I was wondering you would take. I said, me? No way. I was so scared. I said, no. I freaked out. Then after 2 days, I got convinced. And my poor friend, he's a musician, obviously still. He's been a musician, big on music forever and always. I don't want to name drop, but he poor guy, wrote the notes way less complicated than it was supposed to be for me to be able to catch up with them because they were rehearsing for like 3 months and they only gave me 1 month and I was like, okay. So I actually pulled it off. It was a lot of fun and so good. So I started playing with them. Then after that, whenever they got a gig, they took me with them because now I know all the songs to bass. So I wasn't a member, but they were a very, very professional band, and I actually had the privilege to be their bassist. It was
so
fun.
that's very cool. And
Yeah.
I totally get you when you say, for example, I don't consider myself bassist because you do so many things. It's impossible to be top, for example, as a bass player. So I totally get that. But it's
Yes,
very
and
good that you had
mhm.
such experiences, and we can call you a pro as a bass guitarist anyway. You
Well,
were in a band.
thank you very much. I am actually grateful that actually they did trust me to the point to even ask me and let me go on stage with them because they were like they are all professional musician and da 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 me. I'm like, oh hello, hi. So and it was I remember that very concert. It was my first time going on stage as a bassist, as a musician. I went on stage as a ballerina, but not as a bassist. And I remember I freaked out. I was like, exactly. I looked at the crowd. I was like, oh, it's a lot. There were 1,500 people. I looked, I took a peek, I turned around and I left. And then our vocalist actually pushed me back and he was pushing me to stage. I was like, no, no, I don't think I can do it. And I remember first 5 minutes, my heart was in my mouth. My hands were shaking. I was like, oh my God, hyperventilating. I was like, oh my God. But after 10 minutes, actually the videos should be on YouTube. After 10 minutes, I felt like I should never leave this stage. I was having so much fun. It's one of the best experience that I ever had. The first time I went on stage as a bassist.
So as I understood, you are a type of person you challenge yourself all the time. You push your limits.
Good. That's good, don't you think? It's better than
That's great.
being bored. And then we call it couch potato. Yeah,
Of
it's all
course,
right.
yeah. And
Yeah,
Masa is
no,
asking what's the topic. Actually, we are talking about all experiences that Rudy had. And also we want to get to know what Rudy, for example, knows about the stuff, like, for example, being an actor, being a drummer, and so on. So we are learning from Rudy today. That's the topic. and we will have some fun things to do later. You will see. So, Rudy, you talked about ballet. So, tell us about your dancing experiences.
Sure. I actually, again, being in Canada and again being stuck inside during the winter, which is like over 6 months, it's more than 6 months. Definitely, you cannot come out. It's boring. I was like, okay, so what do I do now? Because I got my immigration, I graduated from school, from the university. During my immigration and university, I wasn't very artsy because I just couldn't. I'm sure you know what I mean. You're like your brain is like exploding at all time, especially if you don't speak English and then you just migrated somewhere by yourself, all alone with no family. You're like, oh my God, what did I do? But after that, the first actually approach, my approach to anything artsy was actually ballet. So I found an adult ballet school because usually people start at a very, very young age. I started adult, found one and I started attending and I fell in love so hardcore that I became very good at it. And although I wasn't as young of 2, 3, 4, I was very agile and then I was very flexible. So I could keep up with the ones that were more professional than me. So my school had events from time to time for adults too, mostly for a younger generation than us, but they had it for us too. So in Toronto Opera House, we had 2 shows. Again, I was very, very privileged to share stage with those people because they've been ballerinas, and I was like, "Hi, I am here. Can I like dance to?" Yeah, compared to them, I never called myself a ballerina. Again, it's like the way I base. But the fact that they allow me and they did trust me to let me be on stage with them, it was mesmerizing. It was extraordinary.
That was so cool. And do you do that these days or no?
I still have ballet moves. I dance a lot, um, and necessary going to any school to improve myself, no. But in terms of dancing, no. But in terms of like remaining flexible, I do a lot of yoga, extensive yoga, and I do like shoulder stand and handstand, stuff like that. So I kept myself very toned and flexible, but in terms of like actually dancing anywhere, no. Hopefully, in one of the films that I get cast at, they want me to do ballet because I would love to do that.
That would be cool. And would you also let us know about your acting experiences? You said you don't consider yourself as a pro actor either, but anyway, I'm sure you are being modest.
No, no, I guess no, I'm not a pro actor. But they always say you need to be a good storyteller. That's the only way for you to sell your acting. So I guess if you remain genuine, people would believe it because you're not putting pressure on yourself to like say or do something that you don't believe in or you don't feel it. You get to feel it. I never, ever, ever had anything in my mind to become an actor in my life, ever. After my family Sham, I got extensive number of people to tell me that I'm very entertaining. Apparently, I had no idea I am. I did not know, and everybody said, "Can you get into TV so we can see you? Can you get in and can you? I don't know. Can you become like any Manoto Mojri or whatever?" I was like, "No, they live in UK. I live in Canada." Anyways, long story short, I constantly got hit with people saying, keep coming on and keep talking. I was like, wow, I'm humble. Thank you. Who knew, right? So I said to myself, if I get this more than 500 times on my Insta, I would pursue this very industry. It took like 3 years to get to that number. Yeah, 3 years to get to that number. And I happen to be here. Although I would think in Canada, I had so much more connection with artists and dancers and musicians. And my connection, especially underground connection in art, was very, very strong in Canada. And here I'm just new. I'm like, hello. But I was like, okay, so but the benefit is that I'm in Hollywood, I'm in LA, so how hard could it be? Or even if it's hard, so what? Let's try. In terms of location, here's better. In terms of connection, Canada was better for me. So I started like basically getting on platforms that you pay and you receive casting calls. So you just gotta have confidence and just keep auditioning. You keep, yeah, that's it basically. You just keep auditioning and then
I see.
they
Well,
take
I
you, then
also
you go.
agree with them that they send you requests about being an actor, because the first time we saw you on Manitou, even in the first minutes, we were thinking why, for example, Rudabe is talking like that. Well, what's wrong with her, maybe? But after a while, after a while, we understood that's who you are actually. That this is the way you talk, and you
Yeah.
are like a character, like a movie character yourself. I could
Thank
exactly
you.
say the same about Shora Aldashlu, because Shora Aldashlu seems like she's acting all the time when she talks, but actually that's what she is. So
Yeah,
I could
that's
see
right.
from the beginning that this is in your nature to be an actor.
Yeah, well, thank you very much. Yeah, I actually thought, okay, sometimes people are trying to be too nice or whatever. They're like, oh my God, they give you a compliment and you don't feel like it's genuine. But I thought to myself, if it passes these numbers, maybe there is something. Maybe it's my calling. Chopra calls it dharma. Not necessarily Dr. Deepak Chopra calls it dharma. Ayurvedic um, path of life calls it dharma, and that means your calling. You just got to find that and tap into it, and then not only you will be happy, but also you will be successful without even trying at all. You're just doing what you're here to do, but finding that is very hard. And I was always in search of it. And I was like, oh, maybe my dharma is to become an actor, maybe not. So I'm trying. It's been a lot of fun, a lot of experience. I never ever got upset when they turned me down or took it personal, whatever. So what? I'm just gonna keep on keeping on. No.
Yeah, and when you were in Canada, you were a neighbor of DJ Taghi, and you were
Yes.
playing so many instruments in that apartment. So, what was the reaction of the neighbors? Because it was seemed like a noisy place to be.
Very noisy. Actually, this is a very good question because usually people don't think about that. Especially if you're a drummer, and you're renting, they will kick you out in 2 seconds. They're like, no, please leave. You'd make too much
Especially in
noise.
Canada.
Yes. Oh my God, they're so strict. People here are definitely more crazy and upbeat versus Canada. That's a good question because I had an odd apartment, which was that was the only apartment that was in the lobby. Like it was in the lobby of a building. So the building was like, I don't know, 7, 8 stories. And that was the only unit that was located there. And it was perfect because I always had a dog and I was drumming and I was bassing and I always had jamming session. So that's why I would never wanted to let go of that unit because I knew anywhere else I go, even if people don't complain, it makes you feel very bad, like to drum loud or to bass loud or like the way you want. If you know you're bothering your neighbors, you're like, okay, so this is very selfish. I should not do that. But the location of this unit, which was odd, actually totally helped me to fulfill my crazy dreams.
That's cool. That was a cool lobby too. I wish also I had a unit there in that lobby. It would be wonderful.
I know everybody. So people would see me walking out of the unit. They always tell me, there's a lot of music there. I think people there are musicians. I'm like, yeah, I think they are. Yeah, no problem. I wouldn't tell them it's me because I don't want them to tell our superintendent, oh my God, it's her, it's her. Like, yeah, they're all musicians. Don't worry.
By the way, you mentioned about your aqua instructor. What is an aqua instructor? This is the first time I'm hearing. This is aerobic in the pool?
Yes, it's water aerobic.
Oh,
They
I
call
see.
it aqua fit, and it's aerobic in the pool. Yeah, and it's
Uh,
so fun and it's so good for people's joint and arthritis and so on and so forth. Most of the participants are on older age and they already have aches and stuff. That's why they attend that, and that's why they're not on the ground because of their joints. So they need to be in the water because of the buoyancy. And I love them, and I love teaching it, and I recommend it to everyone. It feels so good. And
Oh,
it's a
I see.
workout.
What
Yeah,
is
your heart
interesting
rate
about it?
goes like to 120. You're like, oh my God, I didn't think it's so hard. Oh, no.
So the energy is high, right? This is the energy you get from them. What's interesting about this job exactly?
Being an instructor in the gym,
Yeah, I mean, as an aqua instructor specifically.
it's just teaching people how to work out and how to make themselves feel better and look better, ergo happier, is an extraordinary gift that I started being an instructor for one format, then I went to two, then I went three, four, five. Right now I'm at five. Because this feeling that I get from the participant, whether they're on grass or yoga mat or in the water, it doesn't matter. It's just a matter of how it makes me feel.
I see.
Yeah.
So this is a general thing as being a fitness coach in general. That's the
Yeah,
type of energy also you get from being an aqua instructor.
that's right. That's right.
I see. And also I noticed a Russian flag in your page. Why is that?
Sure. That's a good question. I have like four flags because I am a permanent resident of United States. I am a Canadian citizen. I was born in Iran, and my ancestors from my dad's side, they're Russian. Well, they are from Baku, but at the time, Baku was part of Russia. Right now, it's part of Azerbaijan, so let's not get. But
I see. And
when
do
you
you
go
know
through
any
my
Russian,
ancestors,
by the way?
no, actually, unfortunately, I started learning, but it was simultaneous with when I started learning French. And then I realized I can only do one. And then since Canada is bilingual and second language is French, I thought, okay, this is more useful. So I actually put Russian aside to learn French first, and I never got the chance to come back. Unfortunately, I don't. That's not good.
Yeah, this is also something to do after you get bored again later. So this is a
100.
yeah.
It's so funny how you said it because right now I am focused on Spanish because first language of California, like radios everywhere you go, everybody's speaking Latino. Everybody like, and then I look the way I look, so they think I'm one of them. They're like da 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 da. Da. I'm like, oh, okay, I don't do this language. It sounds like music to me. I feel like they're always singing. I'm like, I don't do this language. Then I was like, okay, so now I can't do Russian. I have to learn Latino.
That's
I
a good
messed
thing
this.
to do actually for the timing because, as you said, where you live, this is essential. But hopefully, in the future, you will consider Russian. I'm sure someday you will do it. It would
100.
be interesting. Yeah,
100%.
and also the question that everyone were requesting me to ask you is related to your specific expressions that you use, like Shingolansi,
Oh,
informatic. So
oh,
would you like to
Jingalans.
share us some of them that why you use them, when do you use them, something like that?
Okay, so people that they know, who they know me and they're my friends and my family, they always say that I have my own vocab book and I have my own path of living. It's called Rudism, right? It's a Rudism. So,
Rudism.
yeah. So, whoever knows me knows that I'm constantly making up words because I feel like in no language we have enough words for me to be able to express myself the way I want to. And they always come to me, to my brain, like an instance. It's like I'm in a situation and I just say a word and it just stays with me and it doesn't mean anything in any, like I just made it up, right? But apparently it does get stuck to people's brain. They start using it. I didn't even know until Bethram and Sham that, oh my God, it has such impact. I didn't even know if I. Anyways, so some people thought I'm crazy because of making up words. I don't think so. I feel like our brain, we don't use nothing of it, and we're very, very creative creatures. And if we can come up with words, why not? Yeah. If one day some person came up with the word, say book. Okay, so now everybody calls it a book. So
I
why
totally
can't
agree
I
with you.
come up?
Yeah.
I'm gonna come
Actually,
up with the word jingalons.
actually, that's exactly what I'm doing since childhood. And usually, by the way, do you have any brothers or sisters? I think you had a
Yeah,
brother, if I'm not
I
mistaken.
have a brother. Yeah, his name is Roham, and he lives in Sweden.
Okay, I was thinking maybe this is something related to be the only child, but that's not your case. But
Mm.
it shows that you're creative. So you're making new things and you use them maybe in a specific cases that there's no word for that, right? Is it happening?
Yeah,
That there's
yep.
no word that for that, so you create one. So every time you use it, all your friends understand what you're talking about.
They do, but the funny thing is that it's like a chameleon. The words that I use, they're like chameleon because jingalons could be good, could be, it's never bad, but it could be funny, it could be good, it could be
Jingle dance is
cold.
very flexible. Yes,
I know, I'm
that's
like,
true.
okay, so here's a coffee jingalansi, right? So you're like, okay, what does that mean? Like, it's jingalansi دیگه. می‌دونی، بابا گیر نده مثلا.
And
It's jingalansi.
In Russian, because they usually use different word for female and male, if you
Mhm,
tell them about Jingolans, they change it to Jingolansky. And for female,
mhm.
for example, you are Jingolanskova.
Oh, that's
So,
good to know. You speak Russian?
yes, I speak Russian, but of course not as a native.
I'm so
So
jealous.
someday
Why do
it
you know
will.
language? Why do you know Russian? That's weird.
Actually, I have the same disorder as you have to get bored very fast. So because of that, I try to learn many things like different languages. I'm working on 10 languages at the same time because I
Oh my God,
cannot
I
just
love
stay, for
it.
example, in Russian. Just I want to learn more and more. This is bad because, as we mentioned before, if you want to be perfect in one language, you should focus on that one. But I can't do that either. We have
Mm.
this in common.
Yeah, well, your method is totally my method. I don't want to be perfect in one and not be. It's like those people that are book smart. Those people are book smart. You leave them, you take them camping, they literally die from starving. They don't know what to do with themselves. They don't know how to find their way. They don't know how to portage. They don't know how to make fire. They are book smart, very good. They're very wealthy. That's great, but that's the only thing they can do. But life has millions and millions of different aspects and angles and perspective. Dude, if you just want to know how to make, if you only know, for example, how to make gourmet or whatever, then you forever, for the rest of your life, you're eating gourmet sabzi. Come on, this life is so colorful and so powerful, and it's so beautiful for people to get stuck to one thing over and over. I think it's obsessive.
Yeah, you're right. And I think if you be multidimensional, you can good at one thing, but of course you're like disabled in everything else, and you cannot
Yes,
be happy. You cannot possibly
definitely.
be happy with
We
that.
should be multi-purpose. It's like a toolbox. You have everything inside. You can't just have, okay, one tool. Okay, I have hammer, that's it. Okay, so that's it. Okay, so you're not going to be useful for so many other need. But if you're multi-purpose, then you're good to go. At least a little better than the others. Especially for
Exactly.
people who lived alone all their lives. I'm guessing, do you live alone?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, I currently live, obviously, I'm married and I live with my husband, but before that, I lived alone all my life. So you
You
gotta
mentioned about your
learn.
husband. I noticed a post. You said even Rudy said yes. It was very funny.
Mhm. Yeah, okay, because I was even shocked. I was like, what happened? I was like, did I say? I was like, oh, let me think. Oh, no, I did. I did. I was like, these pictures clearly are telling me that I said yes to them.
Yeah, because your personality, I was thinking, okay, maybe doesn't match someday being married, but
Yeah.
this is not. We can, for example, get married, but you can still continue with all your passion. If your husband understands and gets you, why not? So
That's
if you
very,
find
very
such a
important.
match, it's perfect.
Which is an extraordinary accomplishment in anyone's life to find someone who defines fun the way they do. For example, let's say your fun is to read newspaper at 8 p.m. and go to bed, and then my fun is that like at 9 a.m. start drinking wine. Okay, we shouldn't be together. This is very not good. I don't care how rich you are or what's your education or how pretty, tall, short. All of them. They're transitory. What stays is that very strong understanding and comprehension and connection. Otherwise, you get bored of their look, whether they're ugly or pretty. You get bored of their money. You get bored of having 10 Ferrari. When you're bored, when you're depressed, what am I going to do with Ferrari? Like what? You know what I mean? Hence, all of those celebrities commit suicide, literally. So these things don't bring happiness. I think the best thing I always want to wish for any human being in this world, genuinely, is I wish for them to find their perfect match, the person who can comprehend them for who they are, and it's not gonna pick on them because of the things that they do. And I am very grateful because I have found one. My husband, coincidentally happened to be a bassist too. Coincidentally
Oh, that's
happened
so cool.
to do skydiving too. I love skydiving.
Is
I
he
skydove.
an Iranian too?
No, he is definitely American. He's born and raised in Texas. Um,
Oh,
three
Texas.
generations.
Cool.
Yeah, he's Texan. Oh my God, I love it because Texans are like Persians. They're crazy. I love it. They're, you know, when we say مگه تگزاسه مثلا when to someone, it is true because I never been to Texas and I went there. I was like, oh my God, yeah, totally. They're very different. They're very fun. They're very با معرفت, but I
And don't
like
you
their
love their
craziness.
accent, by the way?
Oh yes. Oh my
It's
God,
so
I
cool.
couldn't understand. Okay, my husband doesn't have any accent because he left Texas, and because of his job, he's an aerospace engineer. Because of his job, he had to go to different locations of the United States. So he lost his accent. But when I first met his family, I was not sure what are they telling me. And I've been speaking English for like 20 years. I was like, what? What is that? And also they use slangs that I've never heard of, like things like go break leg. I was like, okay, or this is not my first rodeo. I'm like, what is it? What does that mean? That means it's not my first time. This is not my first rodeo. Obviously, it has something to do with Texas. It's rodeo. I was like, oh, okay, I'm going to learn.
That's
So
cool.
it's interesting. But he happened to love skydiving. I love it too. He's a bassist, guitarist. I happen to love bass. We jam together. We both like electronic music. We are both bookworm. Like we're constantly, we love it. He speaks multiple languages. He traveled the world. Many common things. Also, he's very easygoing. And when I'm very crazy and jumping up and down, and I'm like upside down drumming at 4 a.m., he's like, yeah, okay, no problem.
That's so cool. You two were lucky to find each other, and I'm
Very.
very happy for both of you that it happened because
Thank
it's
you.
once in a lifetime for people like us to find a match. You don't understand me, so
That's why I
that's so
always
cool.
said I would never get married because I thought nobody can put up with me. Oh, they're gonna go crazy. They're gonna think first they will think I am crazy. Then they're gonna go crazy. Ergo, they're gonna leave. They're gonna say I can't handle this person. Is strange. I can't. So
So
yeah, I
Rudy,
wish for everyone to find their
yeah,
perfect
sorry for
match.
interrupting. Usually I try to keep the interviews short for 30 minutes. I love talking with you so much that it
Sure,
got
no
to
problem.
52. And after 8 minutes, if we continue more than 8 minutes, so we will have problems saving the video. On
So let's
Instagram,
go.
usually we have such technical difficulties. So I try to wrap it up in less than, let's say, 7 minutes. So we won't face
Maybe
that.
sure,
Uh,
sure.
yeah, let's do something fun before we leave. Two things actually. First thing is related to our usual challenge on our page name, Crazy Eyebrow. We try to pull one eyebrow up, one down. Can you do that?
I look at my
Oh, you did very good. But
my this
with
one
only
goes
with right one.
better. Okay.
Uh-huh.
Oh, yours is so much better, dude.
Yeah, I've
You're,
done it since
that's
childhood. So.
very Persian. I'm laughing. I can't do it. You're more Persian, man. Okay, I'm one-sided. Okay, man. I'm
Yeah.
like a crab. Did you one-sided? I'm gonna go this side. Um,
No, with the left, you have, with the right one, you do it very good. Well, in this practice, you are getting better. That's cool.
okay.
And
What
recently
else
we
are we doing?
started another game on our page that we check that who do we look alike? And is there a person or something that people keep telling you that it's very similar to you, it's very look alike?
Uh, when I was younger, like 10 years ago, people told me I look like Carrie Moss and she's the Matrix chick. I never ever thought that I looked like her, but I didn't have this hair. My hair was side bangs. And there was a show in Canada, they were like, look alike. They wanted to shove me in there.
There
That's
is
how
a
much they
resemblance,
thought.
yeah.
I don't see it. And then recently, some people are telling me I look like a band. No, 25 band, 25 band. I don't know. There is a lady. It's a
Exactly,
Persian
yes,
band.
yes, yes,
I
yes. I
don't
agree. I
know.
totally agree.
There's a lady. I don't know if it's more than that person as a vocalist, but there's a vocalist in a 21, 25 band, not 21, sorry. And apparently her and I
25,
look
yeah.
alike.
Yeah, I agree with them actually. So if you agree, maybe I can put it on a story and ask my followers whether they agree or not, whether you are similar to them.
Oh yeah,
Do you look
sure.
alike or not?
Sure,
Perfect.
no
Okay.
problem.
I will
It
let you
was
know
fun
about the result
chatting
tomorrow
with you.
morning.
Yeah, tell me. Would it be posted on your page?
Yes, yes, you can even share it on your profile. So I will design it hopefully tomorrow for sure. And within 24 hours, we will see what people think. That would be interesting to know.
Yeah, that would be.
So, Rudy, thanks a lot for joining me today. I really
Thank
enjoyed talking
you.
with you. I can't get enough. It could go hours. I couldn't feel time.
I know,
It
I
was
know. It felt
wonderful.
so
Thanks a
good.
lot for joining me today.
My pleasure. Thank you so much for having me. Wishing you the best of luck and stay safe.
Thank you very much. Would you like to add something? We still have 2 or 3 minutes. If you like to add something.
No, I just want to ask everyone, please do your part for the globe to get rid of pandemic. And whether you believe in mask or not, that's fine. Do it for us. Please just wear a mask. Okay, that's fine if you don't believe in it, but just do it for us, okay? And please keep it, social distancing, although it's very hard because humans are very social creatures, hence we have cities. We have to come together. I understand it's hard, but we're all in it together. Let's make it happen. Let's get rid of it as soon as possible. Stay safe, everyone.
Yes, exactly. Thanks a lot, Rudy. Thanks a lot to everyone who joined us today. And
Thank
see you,
you.
everyone. See you, Rudy. Good luck with everything, with your life, with all your affairs.
Thank
See
you.
you.
Same to
Bye-bye.
you. I appreciate that.